The arena lights dimmed, and an electric silence swept through the crowd. Everyone knew something massive was about to unfold. In one corner stood Lucas Matthysse, the Argentinian thunderstorm, known for turning fights into chaos with one devastating punch. Across from him, Tewa Kiram, the young Thai warrior, radiated calm confidence, his eyes burning with focus. The contrast was mesmerizing. Experience versus youth, power versus patience. The bell rang, and the storm began to form. Matthysse moved forward with a predator's patience, testing the range, studying Kiram's stance. Each jab was a question, each step a statement. How much can you take? Kiram answered with sharp precision, countering with speed that surprised even Mathisse's corner. The crowd gasped with every exchange. The rhythm of leather meeting flesh echoed like distant thunder. But beneath the calm surface, tension brewed. Mathisse's eyes never blinked, tracking Kiram's every movement. The Thai fighter danced lightly on his feet, landing clean shots, gaining early momentum. Yet something in Mathisse's expression said he was waiting for that one opening that could end everything. By the end of round one, both men had sent their messages. Kiram's jab had found its home. Mathisse's timing was sharpening. The air grew heavy with the promise of violence. Fans could sense it. This was not going to the scorecards. Somewhere in that ring, destiny was waiting for a collision, and only one man would walk away with his hands raised. The calm before the storm had ended. The eruption was just moments away. The second round began with ferocity. Kiram stepped up his pace, landing fast combinations, trying to keep Matthysse off balance. His plan was clear: outbox the Argentinian before the power could find its mark. But Matthysse was relentless, stalking, pressuring, cutting off the ring like a hunter closing in on prey. Every step forward sent a ripple of panic through Kiram's corner. The crowd roared as the exchanges grew wilder. Kiram's gloves blurred, his speed dazzling. He connected with crisp rights, the kind that win rounds, but not wars. Mathisse's granite chin absorbed them like raindrops on stone. And then, in the midst of Kiram's aggression, Matthysse launched a counter. A right hand grazed the guard, but thudded just enough to freeze Kiram for a split second. The Argentinian's lips curled into a grim smile. He had found his range. From that moment, everything changed. Mathisse's punches became heavier, faster, more deliberate. Kiram's footwork started to falter as he tasted the sheer force behind every shot. Sweat flew, gloves cracked against ribs, and the air itself seemed to shake with the rhythm of violence. By the bell, both fighters retreated to their corners, breathing heavily. Kiram's corner whispered frantic instructions, but there was fear in their eyes. The kind that only appears when you sense danger approaching. Matthysse, on the other hand, sat silent, eyes burning with certainty. He wasn't just fighting anymore. He was hunting. And everyone in the arena could feel that the knockout storm was forming, coiling itself tighter with every passing second. Midway through the fight, the tone had changed completely. The energy inside the arena was raw, tense, unpredictable. Kiram's confidence had started to fade, his movements no longer crisp. He was still throwing punches, still fighting back, but Mathisse's presence was overwhelming, a force pressing down on him like gravity itself. Matthysse began cutting the ring expertly, using angles, slipping punches, landing crushing hooks to the body. Each body shot echoed like a hammer against steel. Kiram tried to respond, but his counters no longer carried the same sting. His rhythm broke under the constant barrage. Then it happened. A brutal overhand right smashed through his guard. The sound alone drew gasps from the audience. Kiram staggered, but refused to fall. Midway through the fight, the tone had changed completely. The energy inside the arena was raw, tense, unpredictable. Kiram's confidence had started to fade, his movements no longer crisp. He was still throwing punches, still fighting back, but Matthisse's presence was overwhelming, a force pressing down on him like gravity itself. Matthysse began cutting the ring expertly, using angles, slipping punches, landing crushing hooks to the body. Each body shot echoed like a hammer against steel. Kiram tried to respond, but his counters no longer carried the same sting. His rhythm broke under the constant barrage. Then it happened. A brutal overhand right smashed through his guard. The sound alone drew gasps from the audience. Kiram staggered, but refused to fall. By the later rounds, the toll of Mathisse's power had begun to show. Kiram's movement slowed, his breathing heavy, and his punches desperate. Still, the Thai warrior refused to back down. He stood his ground, his pride refusing to let him fold. Every punch he threw was a statement of heart, but Mathisse's response was ruthless. Then, in one of boxing's cruelest moments, Matthysse found perfection. A looping right hand crashed through Kiram's guard, snapping his head back violently. The crowd exploded, a roar that shook the arena. Kiram stumbled, dazed, eyes wide in disbelief. Matthysse moved in like a predator, scenting blood. Another thunderous shot followed, and Kiram went down. The referee began the count, but the audience was already on their feet, sensing history. Kiram struggled, defiant, trying to rise. Somehow, he beat the count, staggering upright, but his legs were gone. Matthysse stepped forward again, patient, deadly, his gloves ready to write the final chapter. The suspense was unbearable. Everyone knew what was coming, yet no one wanted to blink and miss it. The bell saved Kiram momentarily, but it was only a pause, not mercy. Matthysse returned to his corner, breathing steady, eyes locked on his opponent like a wolf waiting for dawn. The knockout had a name, and it was seconds away. As the next round began, the air felt different, heavier, almost trembling. The fighters met at the center, and Kiram tried to reassert himself, throwing fast jabs, but Matthysse didn't move back. He absorbed them and launched a short, explosive right hand that detonated like a bomb. Kiram's body froze mid-motion before collapsing. The sound of the crowd erupted into chaos. The knockout had come, sudden, brutal, final. Matthysse stood still, chest heaving, eyes focused on his fallen opponent. The referee waved it off. It was over. The Argentinian warrior raised his gloves to the roaring crowd, his face unreadable, as if he'd known this ending all along. Cameras flashed like lightning, immortalizing the moment. Kiram lay still for a few tense seconds before stirring, earning the respect and applause of everyone in attendance. The suspense that had built through every round finally broke like a dam. What began as a chess match ended as a war. Matthysse had proven again that his fists carried the kind of power that could silence any doubter, any dream. It wasn't just a knockout, it was a statement. That experience, precision, and heart still ruled